be live right now and everybody can hear what I'm saying. It's very private. Mind your business.
I'll introduce you, by the way, of course.
Yes. And we're live. Keith, you want to go?
Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Hamda.
We started a little later, but that's okay. That's our guest. He's West Coast cool. You know, we'll start at his leisure. By the way, this is a true story. Today, I went to I get my little juice. I get my newspaper. I passed the guy, Hamda, in the red sweatshirt with the blue lettering of cool people, cool people. You know, her people. We have cool people. And it's so fun to see. And I passed him and I go, now that's a sweatshirt. And he looked at me, he said, thanks, kind of gave a double take, but I didn't want to take a bow. So I kept walking. And that was a fun experience. Thank you. Yeah, we have shirts, we have stickers, we have leggings, we got tote bags, we got everything. Show off your wave punching tote bag that Newsy designed. It's fantastic. I have the cool people coffee mug. All right, take a look at the designs. They're pretty awesome. KeithandtheGirl.com/gear. And I understand I have a speech impediment, so let me be clearer. KeithandtheGirl.com/gear, GEAR. Okay, I love running into these. KeithandtheGirl.com/gear. Today's guest
is the Jew version of Keith with a beard.
He's a handsome man. He's been on HBO. Comedy Central presents Comedy Central's This Is Not Happening, an hour special on epics, and a new comedy special coming out called The Best Comedian You've Never Heard Of. He's been on 7 times easily. Louis Katz. Hello, Louis.
Hello. Hey, thanks for having me. It's actually called present tense. That's just clickbait for the YouTube. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you know what? You did right. We said, what are you promoting? You said new special. So I had to take a guess. Okay.
I'm just glad to be here.
Now, you sent a link for me to see it, which I appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
I waited till today to see it, so it's fresh, and the link was already changed. So, ladies, gentlemen, and others, Louis Katz will now do the stand-up show for us. Go ahead. What would I have seen?
I wish I could remember. These jokes are so old by now. I have no idea. I assume
since you haven't started, you're pooping right before the show, maybe a couple sweat beads, or are you just cool as a cucumber at this point, tape or not tape?
Yeah, do you ever get the shits? I do a stand-up show, and I know this is abnormal, literally once a year only, but I do get those last-minute dumps. Do you, as a professional, have any of this?
No, but I'm odd. I'm different from the other. I need to eat before I go on. Most comics don't want to eat.
Yeah.
I've met maybe one other comic that needs to, and I need to. And if I don't, I can feel I start stuttering. The words come out funny. It's not good. So I guess it's the reverse. You taken out and I'm taken in.
You know, your digestion must be magic. Like you're not burping. You don't have to you're good.
It's a straight up fuel. It's like fuel to me, literally. It's like I need this in me to run, and that's that. So, you know.
Good for you. How old are you?
44.
I hope that keeps going.
Yeah, look at that. Comics need like an alcoholic drink. He needs a bowl of oatmeal.
I do. Love a bowl of oatmeal. That's actually one of my travel tricks. I take oatmeal with me because oatmeal's great comedian food because it never goes bad. So you can leave it at home. It's not rotten when you get back. I take it on the road with me now. I got a little kettle. I make it in the room. It's sad. But that's what I'm doing now. There's a lot of oatmeal on the road in hotel rooms by myself.
We got to cover what we've been missing with you. I also looked at some notes of other times you were on. I want to do a little Louis Katz retrospective in a bit.
Oh, wow.
But first, join me on some Hollywood noise and news, if you will. I just read, now she's only 19, so okay, whatever. But Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. You know this piece of shit show, right?
Yes. I watched the first season. Haven't been back.
I got sucked in because it became a phenomenon, and I ended up seeing every season. I'll see season 5, I'm sure. I hate kids, so why am I watching? I don't care about kids' problems. I don't know. I think because the world's watching, and then I have to watch, and they're like, "Oh, is the one gay boy gonna get with the other? What do you want to see him make out? They're fucking kids. Who gives a shit? They're not adults. Wait till they're adults."
You know what's funny is like you were describing oatmeal earlier, and this guy's describing what he watches. None of it sounds good, but you guys are like, and I'm very satisfied with my life. and then Keith laughs at me for taking a vacation on my bike. You guys do horrible, boring things.
She is saying that she's going to quit Stranger Things. Meanwhile, Stranger Things is ending. but she's saying she can't do it anymore because it's preventing her from adding other projects to her schedule. And she compares it to the final years of high school. She was named one of Glamour's 2023 Women of the Year.
Hold on. The final years of high school, there are 4.
Yeah, these are the final years.
Her senior years is what she meant, right? It's like she got senioritis, but for TV, right?
We're playing what she meant. Okay, cool.
She told the magazine Glamour that she's ready to move on, and the show approaches its 5th and final season. Well, you have to move on. It's the final season. Well, you're acting like it's you somehow in charge. When you're ready, you're like, all right, let's do this. Let's tackle this last senior year. Let's get out of here. Okay, thanks. Wow. I'm a writer or a director or a producer. Thanks. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, could have handled that graciously, but why? Why when you could, you could burn bridges? Why not? Well, this reminds me of that lady from what was that? Fresh Off the Boat. She was super she was pissed that her show got picked up. It means everyone has healthcare, like 100, tons of people have healthcare for a year, but you're mad because you can't do other projects,
Stranger this feels like, you mentioned she's 19. So this is why we're bothered by people our age dating a 19-year-old. If you ask a person who has been an adult for a year, let's call it a year and a half, if they're 19 and a half, I don't know, I don't want to make the mistake, but they've been an adult for a year. Look what they're comparing life to. High school. That's all they have. They're like, oh, it's just like senior year. Well, what other year do you know? You know, junior year, the in-between where you were on TV. Like, you can't, there's not going to be a lot of depth because there hasn't been a lot of water yet.
Right.
Yeah. And also it's like, I think when your career just kind of just starts from going up, you can't even imagine the going down time. You just figure, well, I'll just be on the other projects.
Yeah.
And it could be that there's no projects for you or the next project bombs or who knows what, you know what I mean? I bet she doesn't appreciate the security of the job,
But you almost can't. You almost you can't. You picture yourself at 19. You picture if your first project just took off, you don't know the struggle. You don't know the downside. You can't imagine it. I'm going to compare it to people who are like, I had kids. I didn't know it would be this tough. And I'm like, but all I hear is that it's going to be the toughest thing, the toughest job you've ever done. And it's totally. It's still somehow tougher. So I think you hear like, hey, there's ups and downs in Hollywood. And, you can be like super on this side of it 1 minute and then you could lose all the jobs, but you don't know until you have that kid. Luckily, we're talking to a kid, so we super don't know.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think because yesterday we went over everything Jada Pinkett Smith, and she thinks she's saying things. She's very pretentious. She's really not even using words, quite frankly. It seems sometimes. And so I want somebody to sit down, Millie Bobby Brown, before it's too late. Don't act like this. You're so deep.
Well, I think most child stars things turn out fine for them, so I wouldn't worry.
Right. Stranger Things takes up a lot of time to film, and it's preventing me from creating stories that I'm passionate about. So I'm ready to say thank you and goodbye. Thank you. Next. It's going to be over. There's the 5th and final season. You're ready to go and blossom and flourish, and you're grateful for the time you've had, but it's time to create your own message and live your own life.
Okay, now imagine this is high school graduation. She's the valedictorian. She's like, you guys, we had a lot of fun, but I think I'm done now. And they're like, yeah. I mean, this is just imagine high school at a podium. And then you're like, wow, she's really connecting and saying the right things. Remember that this is a 19-year-old. I'm not calling her stupid. And I'm not saying what she's saying is, I'm saying let's put it into context. This is a person who has a very limited amount of source context to choose from, from her own life.
I'm just surprised to learn that the upside down demon story wasn't her own story. And now she wants time for her own stories. Can't wait to see her at Comic-Con in 10 years. Currently, Brown is set to star alongside Chris Pratt in The Electric State, directed by the Russo brothers. The Russo brothers who did Stranger Things, by the way. She also stars alongside Henry Cavill in Netflix's Enola Holmes films, which are produced by her production company. It seems like she has the time. Unfortunately, Brown said Stranger Things has given her Oh, ultimately, excuse me, not unfortunately, the opposite. Ultimately, she said Stranger Things has given her the tools and resources to be a better actor. Yes, I
That's
can
fair.
put my
Go.
palm out, things move, and my nose bleeds a little. So I can do that now.
I just want to thank all my teachers. They made me a better student. They really understood how to direct me into my next phase of life.
Millie Bobby Brown also revealed to Glamour that she credits her feminist awakening to a visit to a psychic who informed her that she was, in fact, a feminist.
Now I'm upset.
Now
I'm just upset.
A psychic told her she supports women, and now she knows she supports them.
Why
Now let's kill it in college. Go Tigers.
Why do you need how does a psychic tell you that you're a feminist? Not being a human being, that doesn't tell you you're a feminist? What's wrong with you?
Oh, look who's woke over there. Hello, good morning. Hi, welcome, tea man. Okay.
Well, I just couldn't see that coming. I don't see how a psychic tells you that.
I am a little fascinated about this Jada Pinkett Smith stuff. You know, like I picture like they weren't together or married for the last 6 years, despite the, take my wife's name out your fucking mouth thing. And now I can't help but picture Will Smith is like a chick is like, hey, you want to fuck? And he's like, I got to pull up the gossip pages. I don't know if I'm in a relationship today. It really depends when you ask her. We're doing great. We're terrible. We're together. We're broken up.
I think their whole relationship was I haven't been following it as close as you have, but they just fuck other people. Isn't that their thing? So I don't think it was
that's what they like imply. They never say anything. We just found out because she's selling the book and she's trying to get people excited about stuff that they haven't lived together for the last 7 years, 6 years before the Oscar slap, over 7 years, and that they're not husband and wife anymore. But they are too. And I don't know what the fuck she's ever saying. She was in an interview recently, and they brought up the rumor about Will Smith being gay, and she said, "No, he's not gay, but I understand why people would think that of the misunderstanding." And they go, "What?" And she goes, "Huh?"
This is what I think it is. Normally, Keith is not fascinated by who's married or who's divorced or whatever. He'll announce it or something, but I think it's bothering you so much that she speaks so much. And now she's writing a whole book, which is like an even bigger speech, right? And you find that there are no conclusions. There are no oh, that's where you guys are. There's no solid ground that if you were to say, if you had to, if you had to write a book report on this autobiography, you'd get an F because she should have gotten an F for writing. He's not it's so weird what he gets riled up about in terms of Hollywood. And this is it. And it's because in the back, always go why is Keith so annoyed by this? And then go, he sees a trick, right?
Yes.
And he can't be tricked. And the trick is the more you talk, the less I know about you. And that bothers me.
The trick is the more Jada Pinkett Smith says she's an author, the less me, Keith Malley, is an author. I'm working on the Dad Emails book right now, so I'm looking at my other books. But the Great American Novel and the relationship book with Henda, what do we do now? If any of these everything I bring up needs closure. There's no way her book does based on these interviews. It's just flighty shit that I'm supposed to turn into something with no answers. And it upsets me that we're both going to be considered authors. I don't like it.
Where you think your book has answers, her book has questions.
Yes.
Look at this, 19 years. I think I figured out what the word trick means to Keith.
If you read my new book, you're going to know if I'm cool with my dad or not. You read her book, you don't know if she's fucking her husband who isn't. And that bothers me.
You don't think she's keeping it vague to get people to read the book, to get the answers from the book?
I can't wait till my mind's blown. Book comes out today. Can't wait to be corrected. Jesus. The great Suzanne Summers passed away.
Oh, I didn't know that.
From Three's Company, Chrissy Snow, the dummy.
Well, she played
in the
a dummy.
show.
Yes,
In the show,
yes.
she played a dummy. She was actually a Harvard graduate. Not many people know that.
Well, she wasn't a dummy.
I don't know. I don't know. I saw the Thigh Master that she tried to. She thought that gave you abs and big, broad shoulders. You know. So I don't. What do I know? You've seen those Thigh Master commercials? They got these fucking Hulk gym people, and they're doing a little thing with their thigh, and like I just do this twice a day. Oh, okay. All right, that's all you do.
Blew up that Thigh Master.
It was huge. Yeah.
It was. Yeah, she made a ton of money. I bet.
I bet. Yeah. Right. I hope so. What'd she play? Chrissy Snow, right?
Yes.
Chrissy Snow. Boy, what was this? The 70s? In the 70s and 80s, when somebody played dumb, they were the dumbest. It was like, you need an adult, and you are an adult. She was like, spazzing out just because she didn't understand what time to meet someone. It was bananas, out of control.
What if she's not really dead and somebody just overheard something through a door and it's a misunderstanding?
That's okay, because I was just chopping onions. I'm not really crying.
Right. Oh, you're killing me. What's going on in there?
If you've never seen Three's Company, don't.
What do you mean?
You have to see it when we were kids in the early 80s.
I think Mr. Furley's a classic character for all times. I mean,
stop it.
The mugging when he go like I love that stuff. Don Knotts is so funny.
Then did you like the Dukes of Hazzard?
Yes, I did, but I don't think that is probably aged worse. I would say the Dukes of Hazzard, all those Confederate flags and stuff, probably aged worse.
True, but yes, that probably aged worse. Although Three's Company and their relationship to what gay is, and there was no feminism.
He didn't want to think, right? The landlords didn't want to think that there was fucking in this apartment, so he had to act like he was gay.
Well, that always confused me. I didn't understand that.
But meanwhile, it didn't make any sense. But they don't want to know there's fucking upstairs. The landlords live downstairs. But at the same time, at least the one before, who was it? The one that wasn't Don Knotts, especially,
Mr. Roper,
making gay jokes like, "Oh, you Fruit Loop," but he'd look directly at the camera like, "Look at this fucking guy's lifestyle." Meanwhile, he's pleased there's no fucking and keeps trying to catch him. It had a lot of layers.
It was deep. It was not deep.
Okay. I was wondering about you.
Someone told me once that it's like, and I don't know if I just believe this, that it's like, maybe my dad when I was a kid, like it's really hard to play dumb actually. And so I always appreciated those characters. Like I don't know, maybe hers has less depth, but like Christina Applegate on Married with Children,
right?
Like
she was great.
She's pretty amazing, period. So maybe she's on another level, but I'm just saying like, there's room for.
That's pretty good, Louis. Okay, right. Maybe not. Maybe not.
You don't think
maybe Christina Applegate did some? Yes, but she wasn't doing any of that shit. She wasn't laughing out of nowhere at the time. Like she. I
mean, it's pretty cartoonish. Married with Children is like purposely cartoonish, where maybe is like what the other show isn't as much so, I
think Three's Company meant to be more sincere but comedic, and Married with Children was absolutely going like, look at these caricatures that we're playing. Please don't take this exaggeration like we believe it's real life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you. That's what I meant. Thanks,
Suzanne Summers.
I know you too. 7 times on the show. Come
on. Suzanne Summers had a decades-long battle with cancer. She died at 76. She survived an aggressive form of breast cancer for over 23 years.
Wow.
It sounds like it came back. She was 76 years old, due to turn 77 on Monday. She died in her sleep with her husband by her side.
Oh, God, fuck.
That's got to be creepy for one of them.
I think about that. Like when you're in a couple, and I'm sorry, fast forward a few seconds if you don't want to think about things. If you're in a couple, one day one of you is going to wake up to a dead body.
And that's best case, right?
It's best case. It's best case.
Yeah.
Right. You didn't have to watch them go. It's like, oh, fuck. But, oh, God.
Oh, yeah. The cancer returned. She died a couple months after. She said at the time, I got fired from Three's Company for having the audacity to ask to be paid the way the men are paid. They were making 10 to 15 times more, and John Ritter was making much more than me.
That's not fair because it is called Three's Company. It was an ensemble.
Right, but he was a chef, right? So they get paid a little bit more, probably.
What was she? Just a dum-dum?
I don't remember what she did.
No depth of character.
At least her replacement was a nurse or something, I think.
What was Janet? Just smart because she had darker
brown
hair.
Right.
Brown short hair. Yeah.
Yeah, brown short hair. So like, don't worry. No one's ever going to hit on her. She's invisible.
Right. She exited the show in the 1980 season and appeared in 2 Playboy cover features. Nice. Nude pictorials in the 80s. Summers made her big return to network TV. Remember this? Step by Step. Patrick Duffy was the husband. It was a mixed family, a blended family.
Oh, yes. I never saw that show, but I think at the time it wasn't for me. It was for the next.
That was horrible. But anyway, rest in
Well, it was, come on.
You know, what am I going to do?
What is it? Full House? How did that happen?
But you go to a garage sale now and you'll easily see there's not legally, it can't be called a garage sale if it doesn't have 2 thigh masters. Everybody's like, what's the difference between a yard sale and a garage sale? Well, now you know.
Did your mom buy
versus
that?
Solo Flex. That's
Yes.
the difference.
Right. Did your mom buy that kind of stuff, Keith?
Yeah.
I figured.
We
American
had
moms.
one. We definitely had one. I remember it in the basement now that I think about it.
Yeah, my mom is Israeli and I growing up, going to the gym was like, what? It's just a waste of money. I don't understand why you have to go somewhere to work out. Just go make a living. You'll burn energy. Go do what you're supposed to do and stop eating.
She wouldn't have bought it from Suzanne Summers, though. It would have been a garage sale for $1 and she'd dick her down to $0.25.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Both of them.
Louis Katz has been on. Oh, they're up there doing Time Masters together. My
Isn't
mom
that
and
nice?
Suzanne Summers.
And Suzanne Summers is like, listen, I'm doing 1970 prices, $5 for this class. Your mom's like, $250. We're in heaven.
She's still dickering in heaven.
Your mom's in heaven, just going from garage sale to garage sale, getting everything for a penny, just going, another great day for me.
So like come to said, you've been on 7 episodes. This is 2010 to 2018. And I thought it might be fun to go back over some of these stories and see what you remember or how how your life has changed.
This is your life.
Right. This is your life.
Wow. I mean, man,
please don't die tomorrow. That would be really weird.
My special would do great, and this is probably the best promotion I could do.
You'd be a true artist.
One of the first stories you ever told us,
you
wrote for Johnny Carson at the age of 9.
Yes.
What happened? He read you wrote a letter in, and he read it.
Well, I mean, it makes it sound cooler than it is, but I grew up in LA and they would send like prompts to local elementary school, like ask them questions and to get like kids say the darndest things answers. Right. And they read 2 of mine on air. I actually just had the tape digitized, so I'm going to put it online soon so people can check it out.
Yay.
Yeah, should be pretty cool.
Can you remind us?
Remind you of what? The things?
What were the things?
I think my new jokes are better, but if you really want to go with the 9-year-old jokes, it was like a Thanksgiving theme, and so one of them was, and this actually still happens to me today. It was accidentally funnier than I meant it. It was like, you're a turkey. How do you get the hunter to not to kill you for Thanksgiving? And Johnny goes to Ed McMahon, oh, this must be your kid. Here's a check for $1 million. And it was like a Publishers Clearinghouse joke that I did not realize I was making. I was just like, I will pay off the hunter. And that's funny that I'm paying off the hunter. And they put it in there. So it was funnier than 9-year-old me knew.
When you would, get on shows, this kind of thing, do you mention rating for NBC? Because I see a lot of people are loose with their credits.
No. Actually, to be quite honest, I took it out of my bio because I was tired of answering this question.
Okay.
But it's funny. My friend's brother was in it too, but none of them can use it. He's a pharmacist. He can't use it as a credit. I can actually use it as a credit, which is nice.
I saw it looked like going through the couple years. Did you have multiple girlfriends that have cheated on you throughout your life?
No. I mean, bad breakups, but only one that one major one that cheated on me.
Okay, this is the one in Brazil.
Yes.
Okay, and she happened to be in love with another American of all things.
Yes. Yeah.
It
Didn't work out for them either. So I guess I won. I don't know. I don't think so.
Do you keep in touch with the dude?
You have a lot in common.
I said this is. Go ahead.
There should be a social media app that's just your Eskimo family, and you can just you can just keep in touch with everyone who's fucked the same people. How horrible.
So this was in Brazil, and I just saw this. A Brazilian woman says she caught her boyfriend cheating on her with her best friend through Google Street View.
Wow.
Those cars that come through and map the streets.
That's crazy because they blur out people's faces. So she must have
they?
really known.
Really, if you blurred out your girlfriend's face, you can't tell.
I would know her. You'd still see the hair. I know her clothes. A car was involved.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm just like, why am I looking? I'm just trying to get directions. You know what I mean? I don't know why why am I on just Google Street? I use the map function. I'm not on Street a lot. I think she was probably checking to see if he cheated.
Let's see. This woman, Juliana Lima, says she recently noticed a Google car going past her house taking photos of its Street View service. I've seen these.
Sure.
Soon after, she decided to go into the website to see what route the car took away from her house. But while virtually tracking the vehicle, Lima noticed her boyfriend in a Street View snap riding a motorbike with a woman on his back. The unsuspecting girlfriend said she eventually lost sight of the man's motorcycle on the Street View and was forced to pursue a string of side streets in order to find it. Is this practical? He went down a street where he used to take me. Well, you do have your spots. We always visited that little square. However, the video concludes with a snap of the man, who Lima says is her boyfriend, resting his head on a woman's lap on a street bench.
What? The Google Map thing followed it? I don't think that's how they take.
I don't know.
Shot. I don't know. What?
It's if it keeps taking shots, but you're
following
on the road with it.
Yeah.
Can it follow you? Could you be all over the world?
I don't know. I just passed by one that was on a walking one of those. Have you seen that?
No.
The guy has it strapped on him, and it's like up, and he's like moving in every direction and taking pictures. And
great way to get robbed. That's what that sounds like.
That's right.
Yeah, but you're on camera the whole time and every point of view.
Doesn't matter. so is everyone all the time.
Right.
I was in San Francisco and I saw one of those self-driving cars for the first time, and it was freaky, man. It was really freaky. This car with no one driving it just pulled up on the curb. Some guy got into it, and it just took off. It's weird, right?
Wow, we are gonna sound so silly in 5 years on YouTube. Like, oh my god, there was no one in the car. It was so weird.
Right. That's what I was saying. How I will remember the first time I saw that, and that will make me sound like the oldest man in the world in probably 5 years, or to any
no
child.
time.
You know,
Because in 5-10 years, the computers will have us as slaves and won't allow us in the cars. So you're going to sound a little ridiculous. She says she also realized that the woman was her closest gal pal.
That's sad.
I love how that's all we have. Yeah, that's sad. I think we can all agree. Yes. I don't know. I always I get how horrible that is. But I always see it like a year or two from now, you're going to be so grateful that you had your heart broken at that time instead of continuing this garbage with those two people.
Totally.
Sure.
You know, they've had this problem with those automatic red light cameras. They had to start really blurring out people's faces because people sued because lives were ruined.
Oh, wow.
Because they would send the photo in the mail with the ticket. You know, your wife or your husband opens it up. It's that car, but there's someone else in it. Like, what the fuck's going on? And this is real. This has happened several times. Lawsuits.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you also get that in the mail. And even when they blur it, it's like, wait, what were you even doing on that street that day? You were supposed to be over there.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Somebody robbed the car for a day. Did I forget to mention that?
Right. Can you imagine there's a day when you can get away with shit?
You could
like
have gotten away with murder just like 20 minutes ago.
you ever see a show and it's like, oh, this takes place in the times of no fingerprints? Well,
Mhm.
no, it's anything fucking goes.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, somehow there's cameras everywhere, yet we still can't get any facts straight or any everything is, people see it on camera and they still don't believe it. So
Right.
there's always
Yeah.
that going for us. The fact that no one believes anything and there's no such thing as facts. So there's
And
still
there's
ways to get away with
always-
things.
There's always gaslighting.
Yeah. Yes. That
Right.
too.
There's gaslighting, and now we have deep fakes. So maybe we
Yeah.
can get back and be like, a car?
Things are looking up.
In March 2011, you told us the story of your dad catching you masturbating.
Oh shit. That happened in the other room, like right over there.
Oh, you're at your parents' house now?
Yeah, it happened right over there.
Remind me what happened.
Oh, this is weird to talk about in the. All right, I
They already know. Who gives a
really
shit?
thought we were talking about the special. I didn't think it was going to be this. This is your life.
We'll get there. We have to
Um,
lead people up to it.
Well, that was interesting. I was I believe I was trying to set the record for most times in a row. Which I don't think there was any contest. I think I decided on my own that this was
Right.
a record that would be impressive to my friends, I guess. And I was all set up, like lotion, porno, Kleenex.
Salve.
I'm set up. Yeah. and like I think I'm going for round three or four, and I just hear my dad come down. He starts walking, and he
How old were you?
comes
Probably.
in. Probably 13 or 14, maybe. I have no
Okay.
idea. I have no
Okay.
idea actually. Probably around that age, somewhere between 12 and 14.
The age
And-
where no one should just randomly open your door.
Yeah, they
Right.
never learned that. Never got that. So I
Such
just
a
like
mistake.
yeah, I jump up. I think maybe the porno's still. I don't know, but I go to the bathroom. I lock the door. My dad comes in. He sees the setup. He goes, "We need to talk." And I said,
No, we don't.
"No, we don't." And then he went back to bed. And then we never talked
Good.
about it again.
Right.
What could
Unless he's
you
listening right now.
What could you possibly talk about? Are you into big ones too? Client, I don't want this associated with you.
Yeah, it was really, yeah. I mean,
Hey.
maybe he had tips for me, like maybe he knew I was going for the record and he wanted me to he was going to coach me.
Yeah.
But
I'll
but
figure it
yeah.
out. Thanks.
yeah, pretty awkward. Yeah, it was. I
It
just
was
remember-
weird because the next day there was like lube on your desk and it was different than what you were using with a note like this is probably better. You're welcome, Daddy.
Yeah. Pay for the good stuff.
I'm upping your allowance.
You get out what you pay for. October 2012, you were telling us the story about how you stayed at a hotel with a bed bug infestation. Have you seen that in Europe? There's another big bed bug problem. London, Netherlands, France.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time before it comes here.
Stop
mean,
it.
Yeah, well, I'm scared. I mean, that was the nightmare of when I guess it was kind of or I guess not that early into my time in New York, but I just remember moving to New York and it was just like this fear that everyone had. It was so intense. But I thought we got better at getting rid of them. And that's what happened. So that's why it kind of stopped, right? Isn't that what
Well, we
happened?
put rules on mattresses. Now you have to cover them in plastic and make them bed bug proof before you put them out to the garbage. That was one of the things that they did to stop the spread of it. I don't know what else they did, but that was a big one.
I remember theaters were bad, especially movie theaters.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Man, when I got it, it was the worst. They bite you those 3 in a row. And I had it. They bit me right across my bald spot. Just really rude. You know what I
Oh.
mean? Just tracks across. This is when I still had hair in other spots, but just to draw attention to this barren wasteland. It was
They're
horrible.
making arrows.
Yeah,
What a
basically.
bunch of assholes. I was staying at a hostel, but I had a girlfriend that I was seeing, and sometimes I'd stay at her house. And I woke up the next morning after staying over at her place, and my arm was covered in those. And there's no doubt it was that. And there's no doubt that I got it from the hostel. And I was like, oh my God. And she was so calm that I'm like, I really would like to think I'd respond the same way, but I don't see how it would go, oh my God, if it was on her arms. And
Yeah, totally.
and then I went back to the hostel and they're wrapping all the beds up and throwing them outside. I'm like, all right, time to be an adult. I'm over this. This little fun experience of living in a hostel.
I can't tell if it's better to be a person who does get the bites, or there's people who don't. So they're just living with bed bugs. They don't even know they're there. That can happen, because they don't react to it. And so
They're just carriers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My friend once was on the subway. He looks down, there's a bed bug on the subway, like taking the subway to like go be in some other neighborhood.
That's what's happening in Europe. They're finding them on their subways, on their trains.
Crazy.
I'm getting chills.
Yeah.
All these wars around the world bug me less, no pun. Bed bugs are
I don't know why you have to add that.
I'm telling you how bad they are, and we got to take it serious.
How?
There's time to deal with everything.
A time for
45% of single men wash their bedding only once every 4 months.
What the fuck? That's disgusting.
Single women do better. They wash their bedding around every 2 weeks. Yeah, I'd say that's a little better.
Yeah, that's more. I mean, I just have these things when I find out about other people's hygiene, like blow me away. That whole white people don't wash their legs thing. I was like, which white people? What the fuck is going on? That shit disgusts me. I mean, like, what's happening? Wash your seats. Wash your legs. What's wrong with these people? Sorry. I mean,
couples, they meet in the middle about once every month. A study in 2022 saw volunteers swabbing their sheets for 4 weeks. In just 4 weeks, a pillowcase was found to have 39 times as much bacteria as a pet bowl. Yeah, but they say their mouths are healthy.
As a what?
Like a bowl for a dog, like food or water for a dog.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's dog bacteria.
What does that mean?
Versus human bacteria. It's not. They're just saying like
that means
all bacteria is the same. It's like that's really meaningless. Dogs eat shit sometimes. Whatever's on the pillow is not from me eating shit. So
I've also watched people make out with their dog. So I don't. That doesn't count. What else are we comparing it to?
Sheets have 5.4 times more bacteria than a toothbrush holder.
I don't want to talk about toothbrush holders. Let's move on. I'm not going to be able to like be in a room with anybody anymore.
I'm hearing all these like it's good bacteria. I'm like, oh, it must be that good like it's like yogurt, it's like yogurt or whatever it is, probiotic.
They found that pillowcases contain more bacteria than toilet seats.
These are not good stats. These are very manipulative stats.
Yes.
I don't like being manipulated like this. It's making me freak out a little bit.
According to experts, duvet covers, sheets, and pillowcases should be washed every 2 weeks. I'd probably do that.
Sure.
Right.
What's a duvet again?
The cover for your blanket? The cover. Yeah.
The comforter, yeah.
If you shower before bed or wear pajamas, if you aren't washing yourself before bed or you sleep nude, they recommend changing it more frequently. The comforter inside your duvet should be washed twice a year. I do it more than that.
So use code KATG on your sleep number. Like this sounds like a mattress commercial that people are actually reading.
A third of the weight of your pillow is dead skin, dust mites, and bugs. So you should wash your pillow at least once every 3 months in a hot wash.
Wow. I definitely don't. Well, honestly, I don't do that. I don't wash the pillows.
I don't wash the pillow, I don't think.
I thought that was the point of the pillow cover.
Right. What are we talking about here?
Why are we washing the pillow?
I've washed the pillows, like especially because I take them camping. So for sure they're going in the wash after that.
For sure.
So then once they can go in the wash, they go in the wash here and again.
I hear you.
It feels weird. I'm like, I'm about to destroy my pillows. I say goodbye to them and then turns out okay. And I have pillows still.
Do you have down pillows? Because I just feel like when feathers get wet, it like smells. You could smell the duck. You know what I mean?
No.
It just smells, or goose, or whatever it is. You could like it smells like an animal. It's like,
even though that's where they spend most of their time in water.
Yeah, but then that's when they give it up. You gotta smell that it is a goose. It's getting goose reactivated. You know what I mean? Like, it's the water is bringing out the goose in it.
And if we're not supposed to be having foie gras, why is it okay to have these pillows?
Oh no, it's not. People get really mad about that. But I just like it. Yeah.
All right. Are you with a lady friend nowadays?
Yeah. Actually, yeah. I got married in July.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Tell me how. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm like, so the special I was supposed to tape it in 2020, and then I just taped it last year actually, and it's all about this bad breakup I went through when I was turning 40. So I'm worried about bringing up that I'm newly happily married when the special is all about I'm sad and broken up with.
I see.
But maybe it's like an epilogue and it's a happy ending. I don't know.
Did this? What are you? So you in the special you talk about a big breakup. Does does your girlfriend wife now say like, I don't, okay, you can throw at the end that we're together.
No,
and you're happy.
No.
I don't know.
If my girlfriend was telling me what to do with my act, she would. If my wife was doing that, she would never become my wife. She's very down and supportive, and she lets me do what I need to do with the act.
Does she watch your stand up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is she a normie or is she a stand up?
No, it's not a stand up. That was the ex that I'm talking about in the special was a stand up, and I would never do that again. I mean, of course, because I'm married, but also I learned my lesson. No thanks.
When your wife just tells a funny joke, do you go, hey, you know, like watch it. Don't, you're being funny.
No way. I love a funny woman. I wish she was funny.
Where's the line between funny and comedian? You got to keep an eye on
No,
this.
she doesn't want to be a comedian. The only thing I don't like is sometimes she takes some of my bits, and I can't think of an example, but little funny things I do. I'm like, oh, she's starting to do them. I'm like, it's kind of my bit.
That's funny.
And you're just doing it. But it is funny, and she's very funny. I mean, I love that. I've always loved funny women. A lot of women I've dated have been funny. It's the comedian thing, which also doesn't necessarily have to do with being funny. You know what I mean?
Sure. It's like being a porn star. You do it once, you get the title, right? You don't got to go to school for it. Are you saying like a dinner party or something? She'll start telling like a joke that you both shared together, and you're like, that's really the way I crafted it.
No, I mean, this is making it seem like we have this more urbane existence. I don't think we've ever even been to a dinner party. We're just like, she's just funny, hanging out. It's like little, I wish I could think of the bits, but like, little funny things that I do. I wish I could remember. It's not,
I think it's more like
stealing my material.
It sounds like it's when you're watching, let's say The Simpsons and Don't Have a Cow Man starts blowing up because it's just catchy. So maybe there's the perfect phrasing to regular life that she's expressing in the same way that you do, because it's perfectly worded already.
And you're like, I'd rather you said it dumber because I said it smarter. And what else do I have? This is my job. How long have you been with her, your wife now?
So we basically we started dating 6 weeks before the pandemic, and then we moved in together right when it hit, and then now we're married.
Okay.
Whoa. So I know you want to talk about the special, but I want to talk about the pandemic. How was it? You just started dating and a pandemic hit. Did you have a transition, or were you like, wow, this transitioned so easily, I'm going to marry this woman?
Well, I mean, like the marriage also came up, like, and the engagement, that was all kind of compacted. We just got engaged in January and we got married in July. So that's of this year. So I don't know if it was like that at first, but it was definitely, the one good thing was we'd only been together 6 weeks, but we already said we were already in love. We already told each other we love each other before we moved in.
That wasn't nerve-wracking? Did you know her before? No,
what?
That you just move in with someone and
it was like, remember those early days? It was kind of like, if you don't move in together, you're not, like, it was like you have to pick a place and stay there.
Right.
So it's like, am I going to pick my place and we're going to be separate, or am I going to pick your place? And
it is funny when you saw couples break up, because I always picture like one of them goes, you know what? All we have is each other, and I want this to end. I'm going to risk death over seeing you tomorrow.
Well, it's a lot of time together, man. And what was funny was in those early days after they started like opening the stores, she lived in the East Village, and we would go there. There was, now there isn't even one. There was one Trader Joe's wine shop right there on 14th Street. Now it's closed, but we would just go there. I would load up my bike with like 2 baskets of bottles of wine. We were drinking a bottle of wine like every day or more for like months. And then over time I would go to get the haul, and we noticed the bottles were sticking around longer. And I was like, wow, I guess we were drinking a lot. And she's like, yeah, we just moved in together. We didn't know each other. We had to get through it somehow, And so.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Look how I think that's nice. I'm like, oh, that's romantic.
I hope it's okay to ask this. I asked this because in October 2016, you brought up Louis' past lovers have been on the thick and black side, which makes his then thin white girlfriend somewhat insecure. Can I ask the race of your wife?
She is half Sicilian, half Portuguese.
Are we pleased?
I like her. She's
Okay,
she's a little slightly thickish, and I
Okay.
enjoy that. And she gets mistaken for Latina a lot, but she's Sicilian Portuguese, and
I would
she's
never say
beautiful.
that. I would never say that. Just so you know. It's funny looking over this timeline because you were with one girlfriend and you're like, I can't do this. I need my space. And obviously, now you love living with your wife. At the time, Louis sees himself wanting children, but his girlfriend doesn't. So of course, that's not going to work out. Where's your brain at now with that?
We're going to start in January, and I'm freaked out a little bit, but I think I'm learning to accept it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty scared about it, to be honest, though.
What made you decide to have a kid?
She wants one. It's like this. It's like I can't tell which is a less fulfilled, emptier life, like focusing on my art or raising a kid. And honestly, both of them could be either one of those things. And I don't know. It's like, man, I've just given my whole adult life to stand up, and I'm proud of what I've done, but like if that's it, I don't know if that's enough for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Louise is into such kinky sex moves as ass eating and rubbing his face all over the pussy, but he's also a germaphobe and paranoid about STDs. How we doing over there? We satisfied?
Yeah.
Okay.
My wife is we have fun together. And sure, her drive matches my drive, which is very nice in a relationship.
That's important.
And I got a new thing I do. I like to punch butts.
Oh, explain.
Not hard, but like a little like,
Up.
yeah. And so she's cool with that. Get to punch a butt.
That's fun. I've done that.
Yeah,
I've done that to my mom too.
Like, yeah, just get in there, punch that butt. Yeah,
Are you doing it from behind or like you're watching TV?
No, I mean you have to kind of like duck down and pop, 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 pop. She likes it. She says it feels like a massage, but I'm into it. Butt punching.
Yeah, it feels
Get
good.
into it. Yeah.
I don't want to sound like a prude square.
Try it.
What are you ducking down under? Like that? Like you're
person
changing
is
the
You
oil?
got to
Standing.
undercut. You got to get person standing up, and you're going. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
It is.
Hold on.
I highly recommend butt
All
punching.
right.
I am a butt puncher. That's what I identify as a butt puncher.
So tell us how excited we are about the new special, Present Tense.
Yes.
Why did you record it now? What was the timing of it?
So I want to do it in 2020. Of course, that wasn't possible. I really took off the pandemic. I wasn't doing Zoom shows. I did maybe a few park shows, maybe one Zoom show. I really wasn't doing stand-up then. Took me a while to get back on together, and then I had more bits that I had to write.
What were you doing with your day? Did that freak you out to not?
Man, it was both. I'd say honestly, what freaked me out mostly was how it just felt like a relief. There's so much constant pressure with all this, not just the stand-up, but the industry and all that stuff. And it just felt like kind of freedom. And at the time I've recently, like, if I could go back, I would have spent the time so differently, but I was really working on a bunch of things. I was working on a pitch for a TV show that didn't go anywhere. I had me and my comedian friend and writing partner, Grant Gordon, were doing we were playing a game live on streaming. We were playing Quiplash live with comedians. We thought that would take off. It didn't. I got really into the idea of doing like a audio fiction in a podcast form, so basically like radio drama. And I started working on that really hard, and then stand-up happened again, and I was back in stand-up.
So were you nervous that you were going to record it in 2020, and now would it be different recording it later?
Maybe. I just remember feeling like it was very it felt like I was thinking of it's like a Sisyphus kind of thing. Like I got into momentum. I was getting more bookings. I was doing all this stuff, and it was still not even that much, but just like the tiniest boulder, and it was just all the way back down the hill again. It's like, God, I got to reset and do it again. But honestly, every year since I've been back since comedy's been back, I've worked more and more, so that's good. But really, it's like actually that year of was the bookings weren't coming around, and I for some reason I didn't feel like I could tape it at the Cellar like a lot of comics are doing these days, and so I just ended up taping at it was my last. I thought it would be my last headlining gig of the year, and it was. And I taped it at this club, the Comedy Fort in Fort Collins, which is a really great club. It's kind of a mix of like two of the best clubs in the country. It's kind of like the Comedy Cellar original room in on McDougal in New York, mixed with the Comedy Works in Denver, like a small version of both of those mixed together.
How many
And,
shows did you do? How many did you tape?
We taped 2 shows back to back, but
Which one did you like better?
the second show was definitely better, and it was good. And you know what's really cool is I got my first standing ovation, and it's on tape. So that was pretty cool. I tried to kind of, it's a kind of a thematic special where I try to have a theme and have it all kind of wrap up. And so there was parts of it that were new the week of. And so I just had to like deliver them and hopefully knock them out, like things that I worked on that week or the week before. And I pretty much pulled them off. I mean, like for the next one, I definitely would like to be, usually stand up is like, by the time they tape, they're so sick of the act, you know what I mean? And
Right.
like, I was still like remembering lines and stuff. I wish I'd had a little more time to, rehearse it and have it broken in. And also just, man, the producing the whole thing on my own has just been a nightmare. And that's really why it's taken so long. So I shot it in May of last year, and it's coming out now, October, a year, basically almost like a year and a half later. So, that's because, it's, it's the, you can do things, what is it? Quick, cheap, or well, and you can only do 2 of those things.
Right.
And plus, if you want to get married in the middle there, it's going to push things off a little bit. So,
Right.
yeah.
Did you like the second one better because you can just be looser? Like, I only need to fill in like 2 more things, so let's get nuts.
Yeah, it's both things. It's like the relief of having one done, no matter how it is.
Right.
And then it's also the crowd, late crowds sometimes tend to be a little looser. They've drunk a little, or maybe they had dinner already, late crowds, except for Friday late, which is notoriously bad, but not always bad. Late crowd can be a little bit better. So that was good. Yeah.
And when on now, are you doing YouTube and iTunes, or you're just picking YouTube?
The album, it's just on YouTube for now. I just want it to be free for everybody. I'm going to put out an album version at some point, but that's not ready yet. I have to tweak that and do that in a different way.
Is there something?
Because it's only audio.
Well, actually, because it's thematic, because it's a full hour. Excuse me. There's callbacks in there that don't make sense. I'm preparing the album. I'd like to think that the album is for people to listen to all the way through, but the bottom line is people don't really listen to the most people that are going to digest the audio version are going to either hear it on single tracks on playlists on Spotify, through Sirius, through Pandora.
Right.
So they're just getting single tracks. So, this closer has a lot of callbacks and refer to everything that's happening in the whole special. I don't want someone to just get that and be like, what is this guy talking about?
But what do you do though? You take out the callbacks?
I just take all those out. I take that out. It's a different show.
You should do a bonus track, and it's just all the callbacks that you took out. It'll sound like Jada Pinkett Smith talking. Like, I guess he's saying something.
Yeah, it really sounds like nonsense. I'm kind of like more aware of that. Like, I love these callbacks to something way earlier, but like this doesn't work for albums these days.
Did you regret saying anything on stage, or did anything come off like I thought that would be better, different?
I guess we'll find out on Thursday when people react horribly to the special. But no, I'd say the only thing I regret is that, it's like, so this Comedy Fort, it's such a great club. I'm actually there this weekend. And so if anyone's listening, Fort Collins, I'll be there. And it is really like the owner is a former comic. He really took care. He built it perfectly. It's basically like the perfect club, but it is still in a small town in Colorado. So jokes about Jews and Black people kind of went over their heads. They're like, if you say so, I don't know about this. Right. And so that's my only regret, was that realizing like, wow, this is maybe not the best place to talk about these kind of things,
This war must be blowing their mind. They're like, who?
Oh,
Before we get out of here, Louis, go ahead. Explain real quick. Palestine, Hamas, and Israel. Go ahead.
No. No problem. Let's fix this right now. I think we should do that. Why? Finally we can get to work.
Here's what you do. You check out the YouTube. Well, I'm subscribed and followed. I hit that bell and I'm ready to go.
Thank you.
All right. It's called you look up Louis Katz. You'll see it right there. And it's easy link to the website, I assume. Louis Katz, KATZ.com. And again, Thursday the 19th, that's the big day. Do you have plans to does it come out a certain time?
Yes. So, well, first of all, the YouTube channel is youtube.com/Louis Katz Comedy, or at Louis Katz Comedy, LOUISKATZ. It premieres at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And I've all these comedians, they launch these specials. They're like, oh, it's premiering at this time. I'm like, why do I care? It's on YouTube. I'm going to watch it when I get around to it. And I found out the reason is the algorithm pushes it if they want people to watch it right when it comes out or within the first few hours of when it comes out. So
now, how much did you agonize? How much did you agonize over what time to set it?
How much did I agonize about every single fucking detail about this special? I've been working on it so long. If there's any aspect of it was agonized over, I promise you, I really put too much work into it. But I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I'm hoping that all this attention to detail makes it adds up, and then it becomes more than just the sum of its parts. That
so you all let's make this fun. We have a heads up. Tell me the date again.
19th.
It's this Thursday, October 19th.
Okay. So look, October 19th. Yes. Keith and the girl. Let's be there in the chat. It starts going live, and it's super fun because everyone's there at the same time. Let's be there together. Thursday night. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Yes.
And the rest to fill in. That'll be so much fun if we see like Keith and the girl represented in there, say hello, all of that stuff.
Are you going to be there? Are you too nervous to be there? Are you curious?
I will be there's a chat and I will be in the chat. And I'm having a viewing party here in LA with some comedian friends of mine who should hopefully also be in the chat. So it should be a fun time.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, congrats on this. Well, we'll see, right? I'll let you know in 2 days or so. I'll call you. Yeah. But congrats on your wedding and your marriage.
Thank you so much.
It's been a couple months, but it sounds like it's going fucking great.
It is actually.
Congrats on the children.
Well, we'll see about that.
How many are we thinking about?
One, and I'm thinking that's it. I think one and done. But we'll see. You know what? We didn't talk about him does the show you saw me at in that basement with those.
You were so great.
Yeah. This was. I can't believe. Sorry, I know we're wrapping up.
Please.
I go on stage. I realize you're in the audience. I'm like, whoa. And there's like 3 young people in their 20s staring at me dead-eyed. And I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. I'm like, I'm doing my act, but they're just like, look, Hemda's laughing, but they're just like staring at me. And I keep calling them out for it. I get off stage. The guy who's running the show, he's like, oh, those are kids from the local autistic school. They don't have emotions. They cannot express themselves. I felt like such an asshole. Like, why not give me a heads up? Right. I felt like such a dick. Sorry, I know this is not a good wrap-up thing, but I don't think.
Holy shit! I don't think I knew that. And
you didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Maybe you told me that. No, I don't think you told me that. I'm not sure. But anyway,
I told you that because I was so freaked out by it.
It was such a small room. I feel like you should give people the heads up because you could see all the audience from the stage there. That deserves a heads up.
But I have seen comedians happen to have a bad show. Then they find out later we're in the audience and they say that the crowd was autistic. And I'm like, really? Every fucking time.
Every time it's a bad show, the whole crowd is autistic. I'm telling you, it was like 50% of the room was autistic and no one gave me a heads up.
Damn. Louis Katz, you're great. It's great to catch up with you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun.
We're going to do this a lot sooner next time. Thanks a lot for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Stick around for a second. We'll say goodbye properly, but Kenda's going to close up the live thing.
All right, we got a little chat stuff going here. Let me see. Oh, Anna says she never washes her pillow.
I don't really. I can't think of the last time I did.
Actually, I said gross, and I don't wash my pillows. I take that back. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, that was a little Birdie, I bleach my pillows in hot water when the season changes. Okay. Those
And I take
we
a scrub brush to my legs.
this is so funny because yesterday we talked about Israel, Palestine, someone's death, like just so much.
Jeez.
And today we're like, are you washing your pillows? We're getting bed bugs.